Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and this is going to be your August 2024 tarot readings for your North Node by sign and house for the second half of August. Now, if you're new to my channel, the reason I use the North Node in general tarot readings as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology that your North Node's your North Star. It's what you're here to learn and accomplish in this lifetime. So it's much more relevant and accurate in tarot readings as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign. And remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node sign and one for your North Node house. Now, before we begin, August is looking like it's going to be one of the most astrologically active months of the year, not least of which is the Jupiter-Saturn square happening on August 19th. But we're feeling this energy all month, but especially for the second half of August. But here, what we're doing on this channel is we're concerned with our own personal life paths. No matter what's going on in the collective energy in the collective world around us, we're here to learn our particular path and be the best version of ourselves. So with that, I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see and hear this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Aries and or the first house. This is going to be our August 2024 Tarot Scope reading for the second half of August. Okay, really interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the reversed Nine of Cups. And this traditionally, this card is called the Wish card or Wishes Fulfilled card. And it's reversed for you in this reading, but I'm seeing an overall positive reading. And when I saw this card, I immediately knew what it was for you. It's that a lot of you need to remember to dream big, to connect to your emotional side, your emotional wishes, and don't forget to learn how to dream. Maybe a lot of you have been thinking like, you know, you might have some dreams and goals that you have thought, but that South Node in like Libra or the seventh house, they can bring in some doubts because, you know, there's a lot of, one of the shadow sides of Libra is indecision. Like, do I do this or do that? What if I do this or what if I do that? You know, it's kind of an indecision. And I'm getting a clear message for you that don't forget to learn how to dream big, you know, and if you have dreams, like bring them up. Just dreaming costs nothing. Okay. It doesn't even, you don't even have to do any action. Okay. Although that helps to make your dreams come true, right? But it starts with a thought. Everything, when you think of every great movie that was ever made, every great book that was ever written, every great piece of art started with someone dreaming something. They didn't just start doing it. There was like something inside them that was a dream. And that's what I'm getting for you. That's really important right now to kind of tap into that. Because remember, the collective North Node right now, you know, this is your time. The collective North Node is in Aries right now. So let's look at your timeline cards. You've got a lot of cards of movement here. You've got the Eight of Wands upright. You've got the Ace of Wands reversed. And you've got the King of Pentacles. Now, the other card that is a card of movement besides the Eight of Wands is the Chariot reversed. So we're going to start here. What I'm getting as a clear message is that it is time to start moving forward in something in your life, okay? Remember, North Node in Aries is you are rewarded for action. You are rewarded for taking action. You are rewarded for even impulsive action and taking chances, being daring, okay? It's like the daredevil that does something and, you know, you might even say like, what's strange is you're almost rewarded for being somewhat reckless. Like most people would, you might think of it as being reckless. Now, I'm not saying doing anything dangerous, okay? What I'm saying is taking chances, right? It's like if you read every great person that's ever done anything, they took a chance. They went out and they talked to this person, right? And that's what this is saying, right? Now, the reversed Ace of Wands here is saying like, look, a lot of you, what's missing is it's kind of that inspiration. It's the energy and inspiration to make that move. How do you get to that inspiration? It starts with the dream and the idea, right? So let's just use a quick example. Let's say somebody, is thinking one day, they're having lunch or dinner or something, and they have an idea. And they start mulling it over and they're like, oh, that's pretty interesting. I like that. That really connects with me. Or I've always had this dream, right? But then all of a sudden what they do is, so they start to like dream, right? But then they start to have doubts. Oh, I don't know. What about this Libra South Node? Do I do this? Do I do that? I'm not sure, right? And that's what kills the inspiration. All you have to do for this second half of August is, I feel like there's inspiration there. Just kind of go with it. Don't worry about the details of it. Don't worry about a lot of this, because I see King of Pentacles here, and then one of your other advice cards is the Page of Pentacles. It could be a money situation, like, well, I don't know if I could do this, because I have a lack of resources or whatever. And, I'm not saying that may be the case, but there's always a workaround, right? One of the things that was interesting was I had a conversation with a friend this week who, she said she really needed and wanted to raise $2,500 in the next 6 months, right? Now, this person is talented. She's trained. She's a Reiki master, but never really has done anything with it, right? So my suggestion was, we'll start offering like put it out there. She has quite a bit of friends on social media. I go, put it out there. Say, hey, I'm trying to raise these funds, and would anyone be interested with some, Reiki healing, some distance Reiki healing, and for different things or whatever. And, it's that's what I'm talking about, is that, yes, you might not have the resources right now where you walk to the bank, right? But there's always ways, and it could just be like, especially if you're positive about it, there's ways to manifest, because you don't know, things can happen, especially if we are trying to manifest things, okay? So I feel like if you put the initiative, and that's the key, your North Node in Aries and or the first house, if you assert yourself, if you put yourself out there, if you're willing to take some chances, if you're willing to think outside the box and take some action, going out there, the resources are there for you. That's what I'm saying. But they're not going to you can't just sit there and they're not going to just fall into your lap, right? Because that doesn't serve Aries very well, right? So this is about taking initiative, right? It's there. Now, the Chariot reversed on your other advice card is, again, this is a card of movement, but when the Chariot's reversed, the Chariot is going in the wrong direction, or it's going around in circles, because you can see the two Sphinxes here. The black and white Sphinx is about balance. It's about balancing sides, right? And so, but the Chariot card reversed is even positive. It means that you have the vehicle to move forward, but it's up to you. The Chariot rider here has the reins, okay? So they have the vehicle, they have the reins, but you just have to start, steering this whole chariot in the right direction. But I feel like it is there for you. And so think of this second half of August, like what dreams do you have that you want to move forward in? You are going to be rewarded in this lifetime for, as I said, taking chances, being assertive, and going out there and forging ahead, like with that warrior spirit, right? Anyway, yeah, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Taurus and or the second house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the reversed King of Wands. And the King card is, what we call the court cards, which is the King, Queen, Knight, and Pages. The court cards are interesting cards because they can actually represent people in our lives, or they can represent energies. In this case, I feel like in this reading, this is an energy for you, okay? And the wands, okay, in the tarot deck are about energy. It's energy and inspiration. And what I'm feeling like is that a lot of you could be feeling like maybe your energy is down, maybe inspiration is down a little bit, and you need that like just kind of dragging a little bit, and you need that, like, you don't have that normal like spark, okay? There is a way out of it, and I'm going to tell you what's going on here if you're feeling that way, right? So your timeline cards are, you've got the 4 of Cups, you've got the 8 of Cups reversed, and you have the Ace of Pentacles. So with this 4 of Cups here, okay, this is saying like, look, there is some, feeling a little bit like down emotionally, uninspired, just like kind of feeling slightly lackluster. A lot of you are kind of going through that, especially emotionally. Maybe even some physically it's going on too. And then with the 8 of Cups, reversed, it's almost like a lot of you feel like you can't, or you're having trouble moving forward. It's like you're stuck in kind of like this emotional pattern, this energetic and emotional pattern. And what I'm feeling like for you with this Ace of Pentacles is, it's something is needing to spark in you to move forward in something. Like, I think a lot of you, and it has to do with like, yes, money, finances, like security, anything of value, right? And remember, your North Node in Taurus and or the second house is all about things of value, about tangible things, money, assets, home, investments, career, the money we make from career, all of that stuff. And I feel like there's something that needs to happen to where it's like you're trying to find a purpose of where to direct your energy. It's like could be a stagnation. And the reason stagnations happen a lot of times is it's because we don't know where to go in our life, and we don't have the direction. And I feel like the direction you want to go towards is getting inspired by something that is something tangible. Like, do you have a goal to, like, get a better place to live? Do you have a goal to, make more money? Do you have a goal to have a savings? And do you need to, put the work behind it? But remember, Taurus North Node, or North Node in the second house, is all about becoming independent. It's about taking your life, the bull by the horns, and it's like forging ahead. But I feel like you need to have a purpose, and I feel like the purpose is there if you just look for it, and if you start moving toward that. But I do feel it's something regarding, creating a better life for yourself, creating more security, creating more stability. And it doesn't matter, who you are listening to this reading. You're at different levels. This is really what a lot of you are kind of thinking in different ways. For some of you, as I said, it might be like going for that new career. For some of you, it might be, I'm going to start a savings, as simple as that, or whatever it is. But I just feel like that stagnation is going to, when you get inspired to find out, like, you have a goal to move toward. Now, your 2 advice cards are, you've got the 7 of Cups and you've got the Empress card, okay? With the Seven of Cups, this is what's causing the confusion. The confusion is which way to go, like emotionally, what choices that you need to make, what things do you need to, like, work on. There's like a confusion of where to go, and you need to pick a direction. That's what this is saying with this Ace of Pentacles. Pick a direction, pick a place where that it's going to inspire you, and start working toward it. Like, you don't have to become, the big deal, right? Like right away. Like, even just saying, if someone says, you know what, I'm going to, as I said, making having a savings. If someone says, you know what, I'm going to start a savings, no matter how much it is. And I'm going to put X amount away, for, 6 months and see where I'm at. And then, you start socking it away for something that you want to start a business, or some item that you want, that kind of energy. And for some of you, if like money is struggling, it's like a matter of, okay, how can I go out there and make money? Do I need to look in other avenues of making money, maybe get a new job or something to that effect? But that's what this is saying, is that there's a confusion because you need to make a choice. You need to make a choice of what direction to go, what's going to inspire you. And the Empress here, this is your card, right? Because Taurus and the second house is ruled by the planet Venus. And you can see her on this card here, on the Empress. This is your card. This is about, you naturally have, whether you know it or not, okay? If you have a North Node in Taurus or the second house, you naturally have abundance within you. But you have to go for it. You have to seek it. It's not going to fall into your lap, because remember, you're coming from a South Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house, which is money that is given to you, okay? Scorpio in the 8th house is money that is given to you. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you have a North Node in Scorpio or the 8th house, but you don't, you have a South Node, okay? So this is a time to move toward Taurus, right? And this is a time where you are creating your own money through your own means, but you have it within you, okay? And that's what this Emperor is saying. You have the abundance within you. You just have to go for it. You have to find it and tap into it. And you have to make that kind of choice. And the static that you're feeling is just, it's static coming from the South Node. It's like kind of waiting for things to fall into your lap, as opposed to, grabbing the bull by the horns, as I said. But yeah, anyway, so look for the second half of August for opportunities to do that. If you're feeling any of this, energy, the stagnation of energy, just realize you need to find yourself a goal, and you need to start, even if it's a small goal, as I said, just start working towards that, and you're going to see that this energy is going to start to clear up, and you're going to start to feel better very, very quickly. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Gemini and or the 3rd house. Okay, the theme card that popped out for you is the 8 of Wands reversed. And the 8 of Wands is a card of movement, right? When it's reversed, it's like there's movement that needs to be either redirected, repositioned, or, stopped in some way. And I feel like that there is a lot of you are feeling like, you're at this point in your life where I'm feeling like there's like a plateau. Like there's points in our life where, and what I'm feeling for you is where, sometimes we feel like our movement is going from day to day, week to week, month to month, and we're moving along. But there's certain times in our life where we hit that plateau where it's like we sit there and it's like at the edge of, the Grand Canyon. We're pausing for a moment, and we're looking out and we're contemplating. We're thinking about our past, and we're thinking about our future, and we're thinking about our present moment. And I feel like a lot of you at this point are searching for a direction, like you're trying to make sense of things that are going on. For some of you, it could be dealing with heartache or things that are worrying you or burdening you. Okay, and there is a way out, but this is a very important step for you. And it's like they say, this is like a cliche, but it is really true, that we learn more in life from our challenges and our defeats than we do from our wins. Okay, we learn more, and even though it's not fun, right? And so I think that there's this pause that a lot of you are feeling, is it's about kind of learning from your path. Because remember, your north node, that axis of north node in Sagittarius, or excuse me, north node in Gemini, south node in Sagittarius, and or the third house, ninth house. This is the knowledge and education axis and polarity, right? So this is all about like philosophy, belief systems, education, learning, all of that. And especially for you, it's important where you have these times where you can pause, and and this is important, where you're seeing, like, what have you learned? What have you learned from all of this? Now, your timeline cards, and this will explain more about what's going on here, is you have the Page of Cups, you've got the Three of Cups reversed, and you've got the Ten of Wands upright. And what I'm feeling like is some of the things that you are contemplating, is starting with the Page of Cups, is your emotional life and the emotional wins that you've experienced, right? That you're thinking about how great it felt, and you felt renewed emotionally. That's part of it. But at the same time, with the Three of Cups reversed here, it's about other times when you have melded your emotional self with other people, whether that be another person or a group of people, how there have been disappointments with that. And that's something to just contemplate, where it hasn't, been like a win for you. But what a lot of you could be thinking is, like, during this plateau, is you could be letting it burden you. Okay, you could be carrying too many burdens based on, sometimes when we reflect, and I know, like, I've been doing this a lot lately myself, too. When we reflect, sometimes we tend to, like, have regrets where, oh man, I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have done that. And we kind of beat ourselves up. And what that does is it's burdening us, because we're thinking about everything. And sometimes we're thinking more about, even on the positive, we're thinking like, wow, I wish I would have taken advantage. I wish I would have went with that energy more, or went with that person more. And then the ones that we regret is like, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but it can cause this burdening effect. And what I think the second half of August is that if you can contemplate your journey and path and look at it a little bit objectively, and just kind of say, okay, this happened, and what can I learn from it? What can I learn from all of that? And when I know when I do that, it helps me. I was saying, like, okay, I might have made a mistake here. I might have had a misstep. But what did I learn? I learned, okay, that I shouldn't do this, or I should do that, or type of a thing. And what that does is it unburdens you, because remember, this lifetime is about you not only bringing the wisdom that you naturally have from your Sagittarius or ninth house south node, but it's acquiring more wisdom. And this lifetime for you is acquiring wisdom through experience. So through your experiences, the various experiences of the Gemini and third house north node, you're gathering knowledge, and you're gathering wisdom. And so if you look at it like that, it's just a learning experience. But as I said, what can happen a lot of times is when we hit these plateaus and we don't feel like we're moving forward, we can start to add the burdens to ourselves. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Nine of Swords reversed, okay, and you've got the Three of Swords. So, going along with this, as I said, there could be a lot of worry and anxiety regarding this whole thing, right? And the Three of Swords is times when you've been emotionally wounded, when things haven't gone right? But what I'm getting for you really that's important, as I said, is that through your experiences, you are able to have a more rich life, and you are you're gathering this whole, almost like I'm getting this vision of like a whole library of information, okay? Because Sagittarius and Gemini rules, as I said, education and learning. What I want to say about this is this. We only understand something truly through experience, okay? Anybody that has ever gone through anything, if you've never gone through, like, let's say, addiction, you have no clue what it's like, right? And if you've never gone through a certain experience of building a business from the ground up, you might have some sort of a rough concept, but we really don't know that, right? If you've never gone through any sort of heartache, you don't know that. And I always like to use this example too. Like, if we try to explain to another being from another realm where they didn't have the ability to fall in love, but they were intelligent beings, try to explain to someone the experience of love. You could explain it, but they really wouldn't understand it. Like, even if someone here who's never been in love, you could say, oh yeah, you feel like this and it's so amazing. And even as a human who's never actually been in love, you can't really know something, the bottom line is, until you experience it. And so all of your experiences, both positive or negative, are adding to that huge library of wisdom that you're bringing into this life, and you're extending it, okay? And that's the way you have to look at all of these things that have gone on. And then when you hit these plateaus, you're like, okay, you take some time, you take a day, two, a week, or whatever it is. And I think in second half of August, it's a good time to do that. You're saying, okay, I learned something from this, okay? And that is very, very valuable, because the Gemini Sagittarius, axis is here to help teach others, okay? Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We will see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Cancer and or the 4th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the King of Pentacles. And when I saw this card, I knew exactly kind of overall what it was saying for you. It's saying for you, North Nodes in Cancer or the 4th house, that it's really important the second half of August to connect to tangible things, to earthy things, to your body, to the sensations of the body, or what we call the sensual. So when I say sensual, I'm not necessarily saying, like sensuality, okay? But it's everything of the senses, of appreciating what, being in a physical body has to offer. And I'm going to tell you the reason why that's important. That might seem like a minor thing, like, oh, what's the big deal of, doing that? But it's really important for you this second half of August to kind of take pause. A lot of that can mean like, we've all done this before when we're like really hungry and busy and we just like scarf down some food, right? We can barely taste it. We're not really enjoying it, per se. We're just like feeling, because we need to get on and move. That's your south node. Okay. That's like Capricorn, and or the 10th house. It's like, okay, get on. I've got a billion things to do. I just need to do this the most efficient way possible, So this is saying like for the second half of August, the big payoff for you is if you can slow down and connect more, as I said, to the present moment, to your body, to the sensations around you. Let's get more into your the details of this with your timeline cards. You've got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. You've got the Emperor reversed. And you've got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So these are aspects of what's going on right now, starting with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, okay? There is what could be happening with a lot of you, and this is very common with South Node in Capricorn or South Node in the 10th house. There's like an impatience, but there could be an impatience of, getting on to the next thing, building your business, starting a career, or just in general impatience with the people around you. There's this impatience because I've got things to do, people to see, So it's like this impatience that could be happening, and it's time for you to kind of slow down that and connect with who you are in this moment. Like savor life, okay? Slow down and savor life, because we end up missing things when we're impatient, when we're rushing. We miss important things, and it's hard to really connect to people in relationships when we're rushing and we're being impatient, Now the Emperor card, again, this is reversed, right? This is again referring to, you have gifts, okay? The Capricorn South nodes or South node in the 10th house, you have gifts of being able to be hardworking, industrious, practical, all of these great qualities, okay? Being able to, and it's almost like, but it's not helping you right now, okay? It's not helping you. That aspect is kind of hindering you. But I think what all this is stemming from is, with this Ace of Pentacles, is reversed. There's like this, it has to do with, money, finances, for a lot of you, property. Like, I need to do this because I've got a bill. I need to do this. I need to make more money because of this. And that there's nothing wrong with that per se, but I think it's all stemming from this constant. It's like Capricorn is the mountain goat. It's like climbing up the mountain. I need to achieve, it's about success and achievement. But remember, this lifetime is for you to tap into that Cancer energy, to Cancer, or the 4th house, which is home, family, emotional intelligence, all of that stuff. And that doesn't bode well in, when you have this Capricorn energy. The way I like to look at it is, I like to always use, like in movie terms, right? Everything is about balance in this world, right? And that's what the North and South node is. That's what everything in nature and the universe, everything is trying to balance each other out. But I like to use movies as an example. So we've seen the parent, it could be a mother or a father, who is a driven and competent, successful business person, right? And they're working hard for their family and they're working hard for success. But they miss the birthday party, or they miss the graduation because they were on a business trip that couldn't be postponed, And they tell themselves, like, they don't like it, but they tell themselves, well, I'm doing this for my family, and I'm doing it for, And that's the energy that I'm talking about, is that it has to be balanced out, is that sometimes you have to miss the business meeting. Sometimes you have to stop, working on success in order to pay attention to what's going on around you, to the people and relationships around you, right? And that's what this energy is saying. I'm not saying that, we should just drop everything, but it is about balancing it out. And so that's the energy that, something you would see in a movie like that, right? Where we make the we make ourselves important in our life, taking time to take care of ourselves, to, I'm going to, go out and I'm going to, do something for myself. I'm going to treat myself and my, loved ones to a great meal. That's what I'm saying. It's like that pausing. That's about appreciating what it means to be living, because that's what it's all about. Like, at the end of the day, right? It's not really about success, because you never hear people at the end of their road say like, "Oh man, I wish I would have put more hours in my career." It's always like they're thinking like, "Oh man, I should have done this or that." And that's what this energy is saying. It's just saying like, when you do that, and what happens is when you're able to focus this energy more into what's happening now with your life, and kind of move into that Cancer area of the zodiac, it really enriches your life. And believe it or not, you end up being happier than if you were to go for that kind of Capricorn side. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the reversed Page of Pentacles, okay? And you've got the Death card here, right? Now, all of you that have watched my channel on a regular basis know that I talk about the so-called scary cards, okay? Death, the Devil, the Tower, okay? There's nothing to be afraid of, right? What the Death card is, and I always explain it, is it's simply about transformation. If we want to make changes in our life, the old ways have to die in order. So it's not talking literal death. It's talking about, it's about transformation, right? And what needs to transform here is, you see the Page of Pentacles. The pages, yes, are about messages. This is a message for you. But the page is holding this pentacle, which is everything of value: money, finances, investments, home, all of that stuff, which is important, okay? It's important. But is it more important than you taking care of yourself, you taking care of your loved ones, all of the things that we were talking about? And it's saying like, what needs to transform is a balancing act. So when you're feeling like, you need to go for this, you need to balance it with that other side. And the thing about it is, a lot of you might be thinking like, well, if I can't do that because I need to, make sure that I have the, security of my family around, the security for myself, my future, and all of that. And I get that, because the Cancer Capricorn polarity or axis is called the security axis. It's about physical security and emotional security, right? But when you start going for that, when that person who's a business person doesn't go to that business meeting because they said, "I can't. This is my child's birthday. I can't. I'm sorry." When they go for that and they feel insecure, like, "Oh man, what's my boss going to say? What's the corporation going to say?" I get it. They're feeling insecure. But when they put their security into the family, they end up in the end being more secure. And as I said, just as a teaching tool and moment, if it was reversed and your North Node was in Capricorn, or the 10th house, and your South Node was in Cancer, I would be telling you the opposite. I'd be saying like, yeah, it's time to like go out there, and this is a lifetime for you to achieve, and not worry so much about what's going on in the home, But see, that's not the case for you. But anyway, I hope this reading made sense. I hope you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Leo and or the 5th house. Okay, the theme card that popped out for you is the reversed Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like that there is the Queen card actually represents an energy, because the kings, queens, page, and knights are called the court cards. And as I said, they can represent either people or energies. And I think it's an energy here. And it's an energy of giving, of like giving of yourself, not necessarily monetarily, although that could be the case, but almost like it's like a sharing, I should say, a sharing of your gifts. And it's interesting because this comes up a lot for North Nodes in Leo, but there's a little bit of a different like twist on it here. So your timeline cards are, you've got the 6 of Pentacles, again like sharing something of value. You've got the King of Swords reversed, and you've got the Fool card reversed. Okay, and we'll start with the King of Swords reversed. Okay, this is definitely referring to your South Node in Aquarius, because swords rule the element of air. Okay, so they rule all the air signs. Okay, Aquarius being one of them in the 11th house. And what's happening is there's a balancing going on, and what I feel like is the second half of August here, there's going to be an opportunity for you to share in some way something that you have to offer. That could be just something of like a big-hearted nature, something that's emotional, even just sharing like understanding. So it doesn't necessarily, like when I say, Leo gifts and talents, okay, we've covered that, right? But this isn't different. This is like sharing something that's from within you, almost like a like something that this is definitely out of your comfort zone, like offering something from inside you. Because a lot of times what comes up with North Node and Leo is like, oh, seek your gifts and talents, and like, go out there and share them with the world, like you have some talent, right? But this is much more kind of internal and much more kind of personal that I'm getting here. That there's an opportunity for you to, like, I feel like there's going to be an opportunity where someone can benefit from your big-hearted nature. Because remember, what's interesting about, when you see the North Node in Leo ruled by the sun, it is all about kind of like they say, like Leos wear their heart on their sleeves. It's about big-heartedness. It's about benevolence, right? And then, the Aquarius energy is detached, like emotionally, like I'm just detached. I'm going to solve this problem through my intellect and through my, reason and understanding. Nothing wrong with that, right? But we're not robots, and especially you in this lifetime, right? We are human beings, and we are more than just an intellect and brain, okay? We are a heart. The heart is a much more powerful organ than the brain. Okay, that's scientifically proven. There's more energy emanating from the heart than there is from the brain. The heart is what is our perception, and the brain is just a calculator and a computer. They're both important, don't get me wrong, right? But what's happening here is I feel like there's an opportunity for you to, I feel like it's going to be like a situation, or somebody close to you, or some situation. It could be multiple situations where something's going to be presented to you. Someone's going to share something with you. There's going to be a situation where you need to respond in some way. And there could be a kind of initial reaction to respond from the Aquarius side. Well, let me see, and like be very detached emotionally about this thing, and okay, blah blah blah, or you could attach, you can go from a more personal, which is like opening your heart, like sharing something of you, like really connecting at a heart level with somebody, because whether you know it or not, everybody that has the North Node in Leo or the fifth house has the ability for this big open-heartedness, okay? This inspiring energy that they have, okay? And sometimes that Aquarius South Node can get in the way. So what I mean by that is when this situation happen, or situations, it could be multiple situations, you want to respond. If you find yourself going up in here, well, let me see, let me help you, doot, 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 and you're thinking about everything and you're just very detached emotionally, you stop yourself and say, wait a minute, what does my heart say about this? And can I share something that's inside me that's very personal? Can I connect with this situation at a heart level, with passion, with emotion, with emotionality, with, just kind of using all of those gifts that you do have, okay? And like I said, it's much more personal. Now your two advice cards are interesting. You've got the Page of Cups, and you've got the Ten of Pentacles. So starting with the Ten of Pentacles, I do feel like for a lot of you, because this is like, for example, this is one of the things this card is it's generational wealth. So this situation could involve someone in your family. Okay, there's going to be, for a lot of you, that's going to be the case. But the other thing this card is saying is that when you're able to do this and you're able to start connecting to people and situations from that lion's heart, as opposed to that Aquarius detachment, what you're going to find is that it's building up this generational wealth around you. And I'm not saying necessarily, like, I'm not talking about just money, although that could translate to that. I'm talking about the wealth of relationships around you, the wealth of your career and job will get better, your friendships will get better, all of that will get better, because the more we stay in our south nodes, if we're staying in that energy of Aquarius, it's like things are, they kind of stay more difficult. So there's a way to tap into this that is going to like really pay off, okay? But I think for a lot of you, it's going to be through family. And with this Page of Cups, okay, this is one of your gifts. Pages are about messages. So I feel that how this is going to play out, you have an emotional message that you can relate to this situation that's going to happen, or situation, or this person or people. As I said, it could be more than one, but it's about you sharing something, you sharing a message on an emotional level. Notice it's not swords. You're not sharing your mind. You're not sharing your intellect. You're not sharing your logic. You're sharing something emotionally. And even if it's something small, what you're going to find is when you are able to do that, that little thing that you did, where you're able to share and be generous and share that gift that you have, what you're going to find is you're going to find that generosity is going to pay off in your life big time. You're going to start to see doors open more, and you will see it right away. But it's going to seem strange at first, because always when we go against our south node, it seems odd at first. But just remember to do that. Anything the rest of August and moving forward. But if you find yourself responding to stuff in your life and situations, as I said, through that detachment, emotional detachment, stop yourself and then go into your heart. try to approach the situation and the person from an emotional level, okay? Because you have those gifts within you. Anyway, yeah, interesting reading. I hope you found some value in this reading and you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please reach out in the comments. And if you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is a card of, conflict. It's also a card of competition, competing, getting in the fray. But it's like, it's competition could be, as I said, could be conflict. And I feel like for the second half of August, a lot of you are going to experience something like that. I think it could be competition. Like, so for example, if you're competing with some people for a job position or something like that. For a lot of you though, it's going to be more like, I think, some sort of a conflict. And don't worry about this, okay? Because I saw that exactly why the reason that this is happening. The reason why this is happening is the second half is it's focusing you in. So think about it. If we've all experienced something to where let's say that we're playing a sport and there's some sort of competition or whatever it is, right? Or even some sort of conflict. What happens? We immediately we're focused. We focus in on the situation, on everything that's going on. We're not, because we can't compete or we can't be successful in any sort of a conflict if we're not focused, right? And I feel like that's what this is. This is going to happen, and what it's getting you to do is it's bringing your focus into something. Now, remember, your North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house is all about focus, right? Because your South Node's in, Pisces and or the 12th house, right? Which is the big view, the big perspective, and not necessarily like focused vision, right? So that's why this is happening. Now, here's how it's going to play out. You've got on your timeline cards, you've got the 6 of Cups reversed. You've got the 10 of Wands, and then you've got the 4 of Swords. So I feel like for a lot of you with this 6 of Cups reversed, this has to do with things that are stemming from childhood. It could be about actual people in your life from childhood. So parents, siblings, or just people you know, or just situations and feelings that are stemming from childhood. And with the 10 of Wands, okay, that's about carrying burdens. And so I feel like there's a lot of you that are, and this is very common with North Node in Virgo and or the 6th house, is it's one of the more challenging like North Nodes, right? Because a lot of you have experienced a lot of very intense things in your life and also in past lives. And I feel like this is getting you to unburden whatever this is. And in order to unburden yourself, you have to kind of focus in on this. And I feel like in August, there's going to be the second half of August, there's going to be this opportunity for you to, this conflict, and it could be an inner conflict, it could be an outer conflict, it could be both, okay? But it's getting you to pay attention and focus in on whatever this is that I believe for a lot of you is stemming from childhood. It could be something that's happening now even, but there's deep kind of ripples and reverberations into your childhood, right? And where it's going to end up, and this is what's really positive, all you have to do is just face this challenge, and simply all you need to do is focus on it. The act of you just focusing on it, not like walking away from it, not avoiding it, but just the act of you doing that is going to get you to a place of more peace. And that's what this is saying. It's a piece of, it's like a mental peace and an emotional peace of mind. But I feel like that's what's happening. It's going to unburden you. Just the act of focusing in on it and saying like, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to understand it. Just the act of doing that is like a win, right? And I feel like what's going to happen is, when you look at whatever this situation is, whatever this conflict is, inner or outer conflict, and you're dealing with it, and you're using focused energy on it, it's going to get you to a better place. This is a really important part of this year for you, is this learning to focus in on things and hone in on something. Because what can happen a lot too with this North Node is, with that South Node in Pisces or the 12th house, there could be like, it's like a scattered energy, scattered thoughts, scattered emotional energy. And so that focus, that act of focusing is like so important to navigate this part of your life, and it's going to really get you far ahead. Your two advice cards are very positive, okay? So you've got the Magician card upright, and you've got the Six of Wands. So I feel like when you're able to do this, and you're able to do this focusing, and you're able to face whatever this is, and it's not necessarily going to be easy, but if you're able to do this, there are great rewards in doing this. And it's going to, at the end of it, a lot of you are, you're all going to get wins out of it. But some of you could get really extremely great wins out of this. And you could see like feeling like a completely new person. But it's getting you on a path of more wholeness. I'm getting more energy and more wholeness. And it's like this skill is so important in how you're going to navigate your future, and it's setting you up, like the Six of Wands is not only a card of energy and of winning and of like victory, but it's a card of movement. It's like it's getting you when you do this, you're going to set yourself up for more wins down the road, moving down the road on your path of like winning. And then this Magician card is really saying that this is part of you learning to master your life. Okay, these are life skills. The Magician card is a card of mastery. It's a card of being proficient in many aspects of your life, and this is just adding to that. Like, it's like when you are able to do this and focus in on these old conflicts, on new conflicts, and not like let them just dissipate within you and like walk away from them. When you're able to do this, it's a card of you mastering yourself more. So really what this is all about is you're mastering skills in order to move you forward in a positive direction, right? So remember, face whatever this is, whether it's internal, external conflict, or both, right? And if you just focus in on it, face it, try to understand it, and then move away from it. And remember, what's really going to help you, one of the skills that you have, and I'm seeing that with this Four of Swords, is this is also a card of contemplation and meditation. And I feel like some of your gifts that you have in this lifetime, if you're in South Node in Pisces and or the 12th house, is you have the gift of being able to connect to the unconscious, to the subconscious, to be able to connect to the universe, to your guides, all of that stuff. So meditation in going through this, focused meditation, because that's really what meditation is. It's like a focusing, right? So use that skill, because you have that. Focus in on it, contemplate what this is, and face it head on, and you're going to overcome it. But I really think that there's like a big win for you moving forward with all of this, and it's going to put you on a better path, in your life, and then moving forward. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box. But with that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. Okay, so the theme card that came out for you is a reversed 7 of Pentacles. And when I saw this card, I was thinking that the second half of August, there's going to be a situation or situations that is really going to require patience on your part, with a situation, with a person or people, but it's going to require like patience, waiting for things to develop. And I was getting the feeling of like, if action or reaction is taken too quickly without letting things kind of develop, it could be kind of detrimental. I'll give you an example. Like, let's say something happens where you receive a message or an email from somebody, right? And you have an initial like reaction to it, and you want to take some impulsive action. And I think we've all experienced where, there's times when we have all done this, where we wish we would have waited for either more information or just waited for the situation, been patient for it to develop. Because I know this has happened with me at times, and or we rush in and we kind of like regret it. Whereas if we would have like been more patient with the situation, and that's kind of what I'm seeing with this coming up. It's really, this is a good practice for you developing kind of patience and holding back. Now, it's easier said than done, because I mean, we're dealing with, you have a North Node in Libra or the 7th house, so your South Node's in Aries or the 1st house. Okay, it's like, take action, not only now, take it yesterday. Just react, act, and that's a good thing. That's one of the gifts that most of you have, is the ability to have that. You don't wait around for things too long. But this is one where you're gonna really feel like you want to take action, and you're being asked to kind of hold back. Now, how this is going to play out is, it's going to play out emotionally, but it's going to hit you mentally first. And that's how I'm seeing this situation. It's going to like hit you mentally, and then subsequently it's going to hit you emotionally, as opposed to the other way around. There's a different way to experience energy or challenging situations. Sometimes things hit us emotionally, and then it goes up into our mind. Sometimes it hits our mind and goes into our emotions. That's what I'm thinking here. So your timeline cards are, you've got the 9 of Swords upright, you've got the 8 of Swords reversed, and you've got the 5 of Swords reversed. And what I'm thinking is, starting with this 5 of Swords reversed, all of these swords are talking about mental energy and communication. There is a situation to where there could be a competitive situation in your life. There could be a situation where you've had to deal with someone with kind of like negative energy, or there was some sort of conflict, and they may have like the way it's going to hit you is almost like, when people are kind of going back and forth in a situation, and one person kind of takes a really aggressive move in some way, and you're kind of taken aback, and it kind of affects your mind. Like it's like it's going to bring up a reaction in you, and it's because it was such a forceful move by this other person or people. It could be a group of people. And it could come into any situation in your life. But the way that the feeling is going to be is kind of like, you could feel a little bit like you need to react because there was some like humiliation or put down, or kind of like, even if it's a competition, like, nah, 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 that type of an energy, right? And what it could cause is it could cause this mental anxiety. That's what I'm getting with this Nine of Swords, where, you could be thinking about it. It could be keeping you up at night in a way. And, the other thing about this is that when it's stewing within your mind, it's going to be like, you're going to feel like, I need to do something. I need to do something. And what you want to do is, with this Eight of Swords reversed, is you want to learn how to sit with the energy just for a minute. That's where the patience comes in. Like the Aries energy in your south node, or the first house, right? That kind of energy is, when something happens, react. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. As I said, that's a gift, because there's times when we need these type of people to be able to react quickly. But there's other times, as we talked about, where it's better to hold back. So this is saying, you have to sit with this energy. So this person is surrounded by swords, and she can get out of that at any time. She can get out of this situation by reacting, by taking, assertive moves or aggression. But what this is saying reversed is this saying, just, if even though it's uncomfortable, sit with it just momentarily, because I feel like it's going to become clear. Like, there's going to be, if you're able to sit with it, even though it's uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you never have to take action. But the way I feel it's going to develop is, it's going to do two things. It's going to develop your patience and control. And then what you're going to see is, you're going to be glad you waited, because there's some other information regarding, maybe someone is going to come to your aid in some way. Some person or people are going to come to your aid because you waited, as opposed to just like automatically reacting. But it's going to benefit you. You're going to see it's going to benefit you by the fact that you were able to do that. And I'm not going to, mince any words here. It's going to feel uncomfortable to kind of sit in that energy, because you're going to want to react to it, right? But just trust me. Just don't react right away. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and you've got the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, how this is going to eventually play out is, it's going to cause emotional confusion, but what it's going to do is, it's going to clarify something in your life emotionally regarding this situation. Something, if by the act of waiting and being patient, is going to clarify, like, you're going to see what emotional road to take, because these are emotional choices. Okay. And although this card, especially when it's reversed, could be like emotional confusion, the longer you're able to wait on this situation and just let it settle, and let it play out. Now, how long would that be? A few hours, a day, a week? I'm not sure. That's where you're going to have to, you're going to know. You're going to know when is the time, like, okay, something's going to happen where you're going to see, okay, that's why I needed to wait. And then you're going to kind of feel you have the okay to move forward. And the way you're going to move forward is, you're going to know when you have the full information of what to do. Okay, if that makes sense. So you're going to get this emotional information that's going to tell you, and you're going to see what you're going to say to yourself, like, wow, okay, I'm really happy that I waited on this and I didn't react, and you're going to see the rewards of sometimes having that discipline of patience in a situation, because it really is a great skill to have. Now, the reversed Knight of Pentacles. Remember, all the Knight cards on horses are cards of movement. And the slowest of all the Knights is the Knight of Pentacles. It rules all of the earth signs, okay? And when it's reversed, it's actually even slower than slow. So it's saying like, and it's not saying, you know, there's other cards that could have come up that would have said completely stop action. Like, for example, like the Eight of Wands reverse would say, or change direction. But the Knight of Pentacles is just saying that it's going to develop like slowly, meaning that it's there's initial action that you could take just in a mild way, maybe getting more information from another person or another area, you know, type of a thing. So that is kind of like an action. So it's just saying, it's saying slow action, not necessarily complete no action forever on this situation. It's just gonna say like take it really really slow, right? And when this transpires this way, you're gonna really find that you're gonna see it's gonna be one of those times when you're like, you know, I'm really glad that I waited. That's really what I can see in this, and this is really a great like tool and learning tool for you to kind of level up, you know, in your game. Because I'm going to tell you, like, sometimes taking action in this world, you know, the world is kind of rewards people for aggressive, assertive action, but it's actually a much more strong person that has the ability to hold back. And this energy, I feel like it's like a bunch of horses that are raring to go behind the gate, and you're going to feel that. Stay with that uncomfortableness of it and let the situation develop, and it'll give you a chance to collect yourself, and you're going to get a clear message. Okay, I know which way to go now. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Scorpio and or the 8th house. Okay, interesting. So the theme card that popped out for you is the Death card reversed. Now, if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know that when I talk about the so-called scary cards, you know, the Death card, the Devil, the Tower, they're not bad cards. They're just energies that we experience in life. And what Death is referring to, it's talking about transformation or lack thereof. And in your case, this is really positive. What I'm thinking for you, North Nodes in the 8th house and or Scorpio, is you're going to have some sort of a breakthrough regarding like the inner workings of your mind. And you know, one of the sign that rules the Death card is Scorpio, right? Okay. And this inner working, I think that there's this a lot of you are going to have these awakenings that are coming inside. You're going to see something, some sort of mental process within yourself and also others around you. But it could be I think it's going to be a situation or within your own self that is freeing you up to a better life. Now, why is this? Okay. Scorpio rules the occult. It rules the inner workings of the mind. It rules the subconscious. It rules being a detective or a you know, CSI person, you know, like to investigate things. Okay. And when we investigate our own thoughts and feelings and we can understand ourselves at a deeper level, it, even though it's uncomfortable, it's like there's great value in doing that. It's like digging up you know, through like an archaeological dig, and then, you know, you find this treasure. And I feel like what's happening is a lot of you have learned to, like, you know, it's time for me in my life to go a little bit deeper into myself. A lot of this is going to be directly to you. You could understand yourself or your situation or your relationship with another person or people in a new way. And the reason I say that is on your timeline cards, you've got the 8 of Swords upright. You've got the 9 of Pentacles. and you've got the Chariot card. Okay, so this is very positive. So the way this is going to play out the second half of August is when you have this awakening, the Eight of Swords is saying that you are able to release yourself from some thought process or something that you have thought about and felt about for a long time. Like you're understanding something at a deeper level that's freeing you up. And with that new energy, what you're going to find is the fact that it was uncomfortable. Now that's the other thing too, is when we go deep into things, into ourselves, into who we really are as people, it can be uncomfortable. You know, they call that like shadow work, right? But when you're doing that, I think there's going to be this opportunity where it could be something you hear, something you read about, or something, or someone gives you information in some way, and you're going to start to like have this transformation of, oh, okay, I understand why this person did that, or why I do this or do that. And initially it could be uncomfortable, right? But where you're going to head with that is the Nine of Pentacles, which is a more holistic life, okay? A life that is kind of freeing up like trapped energy. That's what I'm feeling. It's like energy that's trapped. And when you free it up, it's making your life more abundant in some way. And it's like it's lifting you up in some way because that energy isn't trapped in an old thought pattern or an old emotion or an old situation that you were clinging to, right? So it's very, very positive. And then when this happens, the second half of August, you have this upright Chariot. And this is a card of movement, right? And the Chariot is a card of movement and movement toward your true path. And you see here, you've got, you know, the Chariot is directed by the two sphinxes, the white sphinx and the black sphinx. And that's the polarities, you know, the polarities of hot, cold, good, bad, up, down. And it's about balancing them. So what this is doing is when you have this kind of epiphany and you have this awakening, it's freeing up this energy to fuel you forward in a positive direction. And you're going to see that like right away. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Page of Cups reversed and you've got the World card. And starting with the Page of Cups reversed, you know, all of the pages are messages. They're like messengers. And I feel like what's going to start this whole kind of awakening process for you is going to be an emotional message that's going to come to you. How is it going to come to you? It could come from like a text, an email, directly from another person, from something you watch, or even like a dream you have, or a thought. But it's a message that you're going to receive, and it's going to hit you emotionally. Now, remember I said that there could be some, when we kind of go deep into ourselves and our situations, there could be some uncomfortableness regarding this, okay? And you just want to sit with it and work with it. It's like, as I said before, it's like, think of a person who is a CSI worker. You know, they're doing a job and they have to sometimes be around uncomfortable situations, right? But they have a job to do. So you're like this with your Scorpio North Node or North Node in the 8th house. You're like this CSI worker that you're investigating this. And it's not always pleasant, right? But at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're learning about the situation, you know, at hand. So it's going to come as an emotional message of some sort, right? And then really positively, you have the World card upright along with the Chariot. This is a really positive reading because I feel like if you are able to let this and, you know, go deep and let this information come in, and it could just be one little piece of the puzzle. It could be something about your childhood, something about one of your relationships, something about you as a person and who you are. But if you let that come in with this World card in the Chariot, this is a real big chance for you to level up. Just this little piece of information, and all you have to do is just have the courage to sit with it, investigate it, and then move out of it. Because you're gonna say like to yourself, well, how do I know when to move out of it? You'll know because you're going to get this information, and then as you work with it, in your mind and kind of process it, you're going to get this kind of aha moment. That's the other thing that I'm seeing with this is, and you're going to go, oh, okay. And something is going to become more clear, more so than before, you got this information. And so that in itself is going to start the ball rolling for you to free up this energy. But as I said, a really, really positive reading. So all you have to do is, when the messages come in, just have, the courage and stamina to investigate what it is, to go deeper into the situation, into yourself, and understand it. Be okay with being slightly uncomfortable with it, and the payoff is really, really big for you. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link to my website in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Sagittarius and or the 9th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the reversed world card. And the world card is one of those cards in the tarot deck that is positive even when it's reversed. It's like, because the world card, like the Wheel of Fortune, it's always wanting to make itself upright. It's always trying to balance out. And it's almost like this energy where there is positivity close by. It's like, if you're like digging for gold or like precious gems, it's like you're very close. You've done all this work and you might not even see how close you are to kind of hitting that pay dirt and that gold. And that's kind of what this is when it's reversed. And what this is I feel like there's going to be a situation in August that is referring to something about family, your family, and it could be current family, but for a lot of you, it could be something that's stemming from childhood, something that needs to be like cleared and healed. And when it's cleared, it's like it's making your life path much more it's bringing clarity to it once you understand this situation. So let's look at your timeline cards. You've got the 7 of Pentacles, you've got the 3 of Cups, and then you've got the reversed 6 of Cups. So starting with the reverse 6 of Cups, this is about, this is referring to, it could be children, or it could be like you in your past, okay? So something from childhood or regarding children right now. And I feel like what's going to happen is there is going to be something to where the situation has grown to a level to where you can understand it. It's like I feel like there's going to be this understanding of something either in your current family or something, as I said, from your past. It'll be different for each of you, but there's going to be this understanding where this situation has gone on, and it's like you haven't ignored it, but you've just watched it kind of transform over time, like much like with the 7 of Pentacles, although this is a card of patience a lot of time. But this is, if you watch something to grow, if you first plant something in a garden, right, and it sprouts up, and you're like, okay, that's interesting, and then you come back a week later, and it's like this, and then you come back another week, and it's like, and so as it grows, it becomes more and more clear and evident to you as time moves on. This is what I'm really thinking about. So I think enough time has happened with whatever this situation is, whether it be something from your past or something currently, where you're able to see it for what it is. It's like coming to fruition, with that. And I think the how it's going to come to fruition is this 3 of Cups. Yes, I mean, this is a card of celebration, but it's got many meanings. And one of the meanings I'm feeling for this is about melding your emotional energy with others. And I feel like one of your gifts that you have, if you have a North Node in Sagittarius or the ninth house, you have all those gifts from Gemini in the third house, where you understand people at a deep level. But the confusing part is you take on so many energies, emotional, mental energies, and from all the information around you, it's like it creates a static. And I feel like there's going to be this clarity that's going to finally come. It's kind of all coming together emotionally for you, to where you understand this. So it could be, as I said, something from your childhood that you finally understand, or something currently in your family where it's grown to the part where you can understand it, you can see it for what it is. And this is what is going to bring that clarity. It's going to bring mental clarity and emotional clarity. But it's going to come through, I feel like, finally a connection. So it could be like a reconciliation of a family member, or understanding a family member, or like meeting them on an emotional and mental level. And it's a different energy. The Three of Cups is different than the Two of Cups, because I feel like there's more than two people involved. And it's also much more, the Two of Cups is more like, two opposite people coming together in an equal understanding. Whereas the Three of Cups is melding and blending your emotional energy together. And that's where this is going to really kind of make you understand this situation. Now, your advice cards are, you've got the Ten of Cups reversed, and you've got the Ace of Wands. And as I said, with this Ten of Cups reversed, it could be something to where many of you are kind of understanding the second half of August. You're understanding something from your past. I'm really feeling like a lot of this is you understanding something from your family in the past. But as I said, this can also kind of spill over into your current family situation. So I'm not ruling that out. It's going to be different for each of you. But the fact of the matter is that whether this is coming from your past in your family or childhood, or whether it's coming from, the current situation, it's still this like awakening and understanding, and it's going to kind of play out the same way. But yeah, it could be like, you're finally understanding, like, yeah, this part of my childhood wasn't that great. There was problems in the family, and, but I'm getting this clarity, and I feel like it's this emotional bonding that's going to come in, that is going to give you this kind of clarity, and things are going to become more clear about this situation. And then with the Ace of Wands, the way I see this is freeing up a lot of energy in your life, but it's giving you a clarity on your path. Like, it's almost like I'm getting this energy of like inspiration. Kind of like, once this whole thing kind of becomes more clear to you and you understand it, you're like, okay, I understand why this has played out the way it's played out. It's freeing up this energy. And I feel like for you, what's going to happen is it's going to be inspiration in how you want to move forward in your life, like what moves you need to make. So it's the energy of being inspired to your next level. Because a lot of you, I feel like, with the North Nodes in Sag, or the ninth house, there's been like some like static and confusion of kind of too many directions, too many different ways you're going. And I feel like this is going to like clarify this, in understanding this. And this, like, I feel like the static is going to kind of become more clear. It's like when you like are dialing in a radio station, and you're getting that kind of clear signal. But yeah, it's really, really positive reading, very moving forward on your path. And I just see it like opening up this deeper truth inside yourself, just understanding where you're at and your place in your life. So yeah, very, very positive. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the Three of Swords, and it's not as bad as it looks. What this is saying is that this is an energy, and when I see this reading and I'm looking at this, there's an energy that's going to happen in the second half of August, and it could be something that is like an emotional wounding that you're dealing with. And I don't feel like it's something that is like old. It's something that you are going to deal with. And the thing that popped into my head when I saw this and I looked at the reading was, it's the energy of if you think of the typical, like a good father and a good mother, okay? A good father and a good mother are different. They're tough and loving, but in different ways. And here's what I mean by that. So like, usually what happens is when like a father will sometimes have to come in and kind of be like the disciplinarian or whatever. And remember, your North Node in Capricorn, or the 10th house, Capricorn rules the father. Cancer rules the mother. Your South Node in Cancer and or the 4th house, right, rules the mother. And this is a lifetime where I call this path of Capricorn North Node the path of like the baby bird getting kicked out of the nest, where it's like, okay, it's time for you to fly in this lifetime. It's time for you to move on. And remember, the Capricorn Cancer polarity is the polarity, they call it the security axis, okay? It's about security. The Cancer side, the emotional security, from the mother, the protectiveness, okay? And then the physical security of like the father saying, okay, I'm teaching you to go out there and, go out into the world and, do something with yourself and like make a name for yourself, but it's for your highest good. It's like getting the father training the young person in some way to fend for themselves, okay? The other thing that pops into my head about this is like, think of like a martial arts master, okay, or trainer, and how, we've seen this. I like to use like movie examples, because it kind of solidifies the energy. But like, think of how a martial arts master, how they're tough on the student, and they do that. They're not doing it to be mean, but they're doing it so they get the proper training. So coming back to the situation, I feel like there's going to be something that is, because you have this gift of this beautiful emotional intelligence. Most of you have this, but it's something that's going to wound you, but it's trying to get you to kind of toughen up. And I feel like it's overall like a very positive ending, but it's something that's wanting to transform into in your life in some way. So it can be slightly, unpleasant, but it's a skill that when you're able to do this and you're able to kind of go to that more kind of higher level of moving out from the security of like home and family and kind of mother into the father thing, it's going to be better. Now, one thing I have to mention too, many times when we have either someone that has their North Node in Cancer or the 4th house, or Capricorn or the 10th house for their North Node, either way, there could have been, a lot of times there's like problems with parents, okay? So this, that's something that's just part of this particular North-South Node, configuration. But what I'm, getting for that is the universe is trying to get you to move out and become the best version of yourself, just like that martial arts master. So let's look at your timeline cards. You've got the Five of Pentacles reversed. You've got the Magician card reversed. And you've got the Death card. Now, if you watch my channel for any number of months, everyone knows that when I talk about the so-called scary cards, the Tower, Death, the Devil card, they're not necessarily bad cards. They're just energies, right? And the Death card is about transformation. In order for something to transform into something new, the old part has to die, and then it transforms. Everything is like that, okay? Food we take into our system, that food is taken in and digested, and then it is transformed into energy for us, okay? You can think of everything like that, okay? It's all about transformation. And this is wanting to transform in your life, and it's a very positive thing, although it can feel uncomfortable. So the second half of August, the way this is going to play out is with this Five of Pentacles. Part of the emotional wounding, it could feel like a lack of support by those around you. That could be in a family, in a relationship, in a job situation. It's like this feeling of like lack of support or not being backed up, like you're out in the cold in some way, right? And again, that's kind of like the baby bird syndrome. But what's happening is that, like, think of, again, we're going to use a movie example. How many times in movies, or we've read in books, where someone, gets kicked out of something in their life, and then they transform it, and they say, they like are kicked out into the snow, right? And they pick themselves up and they go out and they completely transform their lives, right? We've seen that a ton of times. And for some reason, I don't know why, but the movie Zoolander popped into my head. It's but we even see this in comedies. We see these playing out in dramas, but also comedies. And, the point where, Derek Zoolander was like alienated, where, everyone around him, and he wasn't winning the awards anymore like he did. He was down and out, and he was like looking at the puddle saying, "Who am I?" That's the kind of energy it is. But see, this is a story that's played out time and time again, where you go from that position, and that's not fun to be in that position. And that's what I'm saying, where it's like you're going to feel like, you don't have that support. But this is an opportunity for you to pick yourself up. And that's where the Magician reversed comes in, because the Magician is a card of mastery. It's a card of personal mastery, where this is something that you're learning to do to transform into the new you. This is leveling you up to a better timeline. Okay, this is an opportunity for you to actually shift your own timeline. And that's what that meant. So when Derek Zoolander picked himself up, he had to go back and kind of like process some things from his family, but he regrouped, and he shifted his timeline into a better timeline. That's what this is for you, okay? Where you are able to transform this, and that's what this is all about. This is about your shifting into a better version of yourself, and to transforming. Your advice cards are, you've got the Ace of Swords reversed, and you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Now, the interesting thing about this, we'll start with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is, this is going to require some you taking some actions, okay? And yes, the Ace cards, and the swords are about like messages and energies. But what I'm feeling like for you is, this is actually saying, okay, it's time I need to take some action. It's time to where you need to draw your sword, and you need to forge out ahead on something, and it's reversed right now. And so that's the first step, is getting ready. Okay, I'm ready to do this, and I'm ready to take action. And the interesting thing about this reversed Queen of Pentacles, it was weird. It hit me in a different way, where this is almost like, and I see this occasionally with this North Node, South Node configuration. This is saying that while you're doing this process, make sure that, you know, even if you don't have the nurturing around you through, you know, close family members or friends, or, you know, you have to be your own parent. And I see this with this. In other words, we have to be responsible in nurturing ourselves, in protecting ourselves, in picking ourselves up, because at the end of the day, it's kind of up to us. But with this Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of saying like be good to yourself. And even, you know, through this uncomfortable process, you don't have to completely give up. Like, you know, if you don't feel like you have the support around you, you can support yourself. Like, you can love yourself. You can take care of yourself. And that's the ultimate act of emotional and physical security, of being able to do that. And I'm just saying, like, while you're going through this, remember, the most important person in our life for each of us is ourselves. Okay? That's not a selfish thing. It means that at the end of the day, everything begins and ends with us. Yes, we have lots of players that come in and out of our life and that affect us, absolutely, 100%. But at the end of the day, no matter what they do, like, we have to deal with it in some way. Okay? And this is so it's about self-reliance, and about self-reliance in being, you know, emotionally strong within yourself. Like, you have the gift where you don't, even though you don't realize it, you don't really need, as long as you have the emotional support within yourself, you don't need that from other people necessarily. It's nice to get, and we all need it to a certain extent, but we don't ultimately need it, because at the end of the day, it's ourselves that we have to, you know, take care of. So yeah, that's what this is saying. But just think of, like, this is the universe. The universe is like trying to be your sensei, your master, in training you in this lifetime to kind of level up in something. Okay. And at the end of this road, okay, we see this whole, you know, hero's journey of, a lot of you could be at the point where, you know, you're like Derek Zoolander. You're like kind of trying to find yourself, okay? And you're going to feel this, and it's going to be uncomfortable emotionally. But remember, you can move through this, and that's what this is about. And when you do this, this is your timeline shift to a way better timeline. Anyway, yeah, very interesting stuff. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some value in this reading and you found it helpful. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there is going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. Make it a great month. Be strong. Stay strong within yourself. Much love, many blessings. Okay, North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house. Okay, so the theme card that came out for you is the reversed Seven of Cups. And I'm feeling like there's going to be a situation that is going to transpire the second half of August. That is, it could create some kind of like emotional confusion of not knowing like the direction to take. And it's like, it's going to cause you, it's going to require you to kind of like navigate through this. And so it's kind of like, which way do I go with this? How do I think about this? And your timeline cards are, you've got the Tower card, you've got the Temperance reversed, and you've got the Nine of Swords. And so, you know, as I always talk about, like, the so-called scary cards, like, you know, Death, the Devil, the Tower card, okay, they're just energies there, and they're like everything in the universe. All energies is there to help us in some way. It's about balancing out in some way, and it's energies, things we have to go through, and things that need to be balanced in our life. And I feel like there's going to be a situation where, yeah, there could be like some sort of like an awakening or shock of some sort, and it could try to throw you off balance with the temperance. It's going to require, navigating this like an emotional balance. It's going to require temperance. It's going to require, understanding this. And, this is, believe it or not, it is for your best good to kind of go through this. Now, we have our full moon coming up this month in Aquarius. And so that is also affecting a lot of you that have your North Node in Aquarius and or the 11th house, right? And so this situation is kind of like, I feel, playing into this. Something is culminating. And then with the Nine of Swords, this could cause some anxiety and worry. And, it could cause some of you to, like I said, maybe obsess too much mentally, and you want to make sure you don't do that. You want to make sure that this is, you want to work through it emotionally. It's going to require some of your skills of Aquarius to be detached, emotionally and mentally to some extent of the situation in order to navigate this. Okay. Because so you don't want it to like go one side or the other, like emotionally go to one side or the other. You want to kind of like balance this out. And as I said, this is all for the best. This is just working through this energy, trying to level you up and shift you into a better version of yourself. How it's going to play out is it's going to be different for each of you. But this awakening, remember, Aquarius is ruled by the planet, Uranus, right? So, yeah, this is something that is just an energy that is coming about for us to navigate this emotionally. And it could come as some sort of like a surprise or like a shock or something. Your advice cards are, you've got the Four of Swords reversed, and you've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. Now, the advice here is that don't, when this happens, you don't want to let it kind of freeze you into inaction. I'm definitely feeling that way, because the Four of Swords is a card of like inaction. It's a card of repose, of like meditation, right? But in this case, it's saying, don't let this freeze you into inaction. When this happens, you want to take the proper steps and to move through this and move out of this energy. Kind of be proactive is what I'm saying. Like take this and kind of like run with it, work with it. So that's what can happen a lot of times when you see people that, like, you see this on videos or whatnot, where, I'm talking about like live action videos where there's a camera and someone doesn't know, but like someone goes through some sort of a shock, right? And there's this natural reaction of freezing. Like, people freeze because it's like they don't know what to do. Not everyone does that. Some people actually like take action, but for a lot of humans, it's a natural reaction. When something happens, we just freeze. And then even days afterwards, it can cause this kind of like stagnation. So you don't want to do that. You want to understand this, and you want to work through it. Be proactive and work through this situation. Now, the Page of Pentacles reversed is, this could have to do with like money and finances. There could be, worry in that area of your life. And it could be like saying like, okay, it's a time to, take care of your money and finances and, maybe balance that out. But yeah, this is going to be something to where it's getting you to shift your timeline to a better timeline. And sometimes that's what happens, in our life. Sometimes, as the great evolutionary astrologer Jeffrey Wolf Green has said, sometimes our transformation happens, gently and gradually over time. We learn and we grow, we learn and we grow. And sometimes things happen where it's like a kind of a cataclysmic thing that sparks you into this new direction, where it's like, like, for example, let's say a person that had they have a health issue that comes up, right? And it comes up really abruptly. But then they take the action. They deal with the situation. They're being proactive. They deal with it initially, and then afterwards, it kind of shifts them into dealing with that and taking better care of themselves or whatever they need to do. So that's kind of how this is gonna play out. So yeah, navigate this. This is it could be a little uncomfortable, right? But remember, this is what it's ultimately doing is it's getting you to choose a direction in your life and move in a better direction, because there's lots of options in every moment in time in our lives. There is a ton of probabilities and potentialities, right? And so there is a potential to move, and as I said, to shift to a better, and it's going to, it's going to come very clear to you just, working through this, especially if you don't freeze and you are able to say, okay, I got to deal with this. But yeah, it could be a little uncomfortable. But just remember that this is to move through this, to be strong, to be balanced emotionally about this. Try not to let this give you too much worry and anxiety. And as I said, this is just one of those things to where you can really level up in your life, and it's getting you, ultimately, it's a positive because it's getting you on a better timeline. Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I'll say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings. Okay, North Node in Pisces and or the 12th house. Okay, so the theme card that popped out for you is the Chariot card. And the Chariot is a card of movement. It's about balanced movement forward, moving ahead on our path, in our best, living our best life, right? And it's about balance, because you have the Black Sphinx and the White Sphinx, and everything in balance has to, in order to move us forward. And I feel like the second half of August is helping you to kind of move forward in some way. I see like a readjustment of your mind and your energy is what's going on. There's like this readjustment thing. Your timeline cards, you've got the Page of Pentacles upright, you've got the Ten of Wands, and you've got the Two of Swords reversed. What I'm feeling like is that you're in this process right now with this. We'll start with the Two of Swords, where you're coming from, you're a very heavily, mentally heavy state of your Virgo South Node or your 6th house South Node, and you're moving into more of that Pisces Neptunian, the planet Neptune energy. And what you're learning is that there's this resource of power that's within you, and it for a lot of you, it's like it could seem like foreign to you, like you're so used to using that, Virgo focus and whatnot, and when you open up these, it's like these other energies I'm seeing that are opening up to you, and you're having the ability to tap into them more. And what it's doing is, it's a lot of you could be carrying, with this Ten of Wands, a lot of you could be carrying some burdens. And what you're learning is that the more that you try to figure out your life by focusing in, so Virgo South Node or South Node in the 6th house, just like do, physical labor, elbow grease, like nose to the grindstone, focus. What you're learning is it's not clearing up the burdens that you could be carrying. And so what you're finally, a lot of you are realizing that I can tap into this whole other gift that I have, which is the gift of that Pisces or 12th house energy, which is connecting to the, energy of the universe, to, anything metaphysical. We're talking like, healing, unseen energies that are not physical, things that it could be, yes, religion, um, it could be energies, as I said, metaphysical, tapping into um, the unconscious and subconscious, into your like mental and emotional capabilities, connecting to basically the unseen magic in the universe, universal energies. One way to explain it would be like, for example, um, the placebo effect, right? So when the doctors and researchers know that there is a thing called the placebo effect, where a patient believing that they're taking a certain medication or a certain treatment, even though it could be nothing, it could be like saline solution, or it could be a sugar pill or something, but their belief in it is actually able to heal them. Okay. As opposed to, now that is your north node in Pisces, or the 12th house, as opposed to the 6th house, which also rules healing, right? Your south node in the 6th house, and or Virgo energy, which is physical healing. If I take this herbal supplement or this pill, actual pill, it will have X amount of effect on my body, or whatever, right? So we're talking about the physical realm as opposed to the non-physical realm. That's where the placebo effect. How does it work? No one really knows, but we know that it works. So that's what I'm talking about tapping into that. You're realizing that there's, like, for example, the power of meditation, the power of prayer, the power of affirmations. All of these things are unseen things that are like the placebo effect, that we don't know how they work, but they actually have a physical effect on our life. And so what you're finding is, in order to unburden your life, the more you tap into that unseen realm, the more burdens are going to be lifted from you. Now, the page of Pentacles over here is interesting, because it, at the same time, I feel like you have to stay grounded, and that's what this is saying with this Pentacles, is you want to take care of your physical self, your physical space, your life, and all of that. You have to be, this is the practical side, okay? This is the earth sign, is saying that you still have to keep one foot on the ground, and most of you will, but you don't want to go too far into it. You want to balance it. But if you're able to, like, keep your feet on the ground, but also kind of move into this energy, this unseen energy, it can help your life. And as I said, that could mean you start like a meditation program. You're realizing that, wow, or like you start like a daily affirmation in the morning or in the, evening. All of these things, anything that has to do with that Pisces, Neptune energy, can transform your life very, very positively. Anything, and it might seem to your Virgo South Node unpractical or whatever, but it's not. It actually will have a great effect in your life. Now, your two advice cards are, you've got the Moon card reversed, and you've got the Six of Pentacles. Now, interesting cards. So the Moon card reversed is, there is something regarding your talents, your gifts and talents, that is coming to light. And it has to do with this Two of Swords reversed. There are talents inside you that still need to be brought out more and worked on. And those talents are, like, for example, tapping in more to that unseen realm, that unseen help. It could be connecting with, guides, everything to do with the unseen realm, right? And you're going to find out that the second half of August, it's really going to help you to tap into that more, tap into the magic of the universe and of life. Because really, that's what someone that gets healed by the placebo effect, and there have been some really miraculous recoveries on people that completely healed themselves through their mind and their belief system. That is magic. It's unexplained, but it actually works in the real world, in the physical realm. And this Six of Pentacles here is interesting, because this is saying that you need to tap into the help and the gifts that are around you, because I feel like, you know, the unseen realm, your spirit guides, your guardians, your guardian angels, your just the universe in general, the unseen realm is there to help you. But you have to ask, because it's like when you're asking for help, you will receive help. You will get the generosity of the universe. So just in the act of requesting, making a petition, you know, using an affirmation, using that unseen realm, and asking to bring something to you, like of a positive effect. A lot of you are being asked to do that. And that, as I said, like one example is, let's say, you know, you want more abundance in your life, right? And so it could be like, you know, when you get up in the morning, you just close your eyes and kind of say to yourself, or out loud, just say like, show me the path in my life that's for my highest good and highest happiness and highest abundance. You just say that a few times, and you could, like I said, you could say it to yourself. And then in the evening, the same thing. Show me the path that's for my highest good and highest happiness and highest abundance. And you're just taking this little, could just be a few minutes, you know, 5 minutes, just breathe, say this over and over, you know. And what you're doing is, this is the act of petitioning the unseen realm for help and assistance, because of all the north nodes. The north node in Pisces and or the 12th house has the ability to tap into these energies. Everybody does, but especially it's important for the north node in Pisces and or the 12th house, right? Anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you and you found some value in it. Go out there, make it a great month. If you have any questions and would like a personal tarot reading based on your astrological chart, there's going to be a link in the description box below. With that, I will say thank you. We'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings.